We got ourselves Athaman on Team Blue going for an Athlon triathlon, man. We got ourselves El Patron in here. We got 14, we got Judo, and we got Olag. Oh, changing up his Mog. He's changing up his spec though too. He'll be going Affliction on Team Red. We got ourselves Candy, we got ourselves Dancer Phase. Randall going up first. A little gnome, the big old rat, and Renax sitting in the back. Randall playing that Arcane Mage in the opener versus El Patron. Is that bad to say it like that? I feel like it gives him a bit of that character to it, you know what I mean? El Patron. El Patron? I want to call him El Patron. I like it better. Oh, Amos coming down from El Patron, and he's getting hit with a couple of insta-casts from Randall. Oh, getting shredded! Completely obliterated by this Arcane damage. What is this? Barely any health left. Arcane misses to follow. What? Your girl's name is Get Wrecked, son. Patron! Patron! What happened? I think he just got wrecked. Sorry for the cough. Oh my goodness. What? Athaman getting hit with a slow immediately. Trying to get a slow up and running onto Randall, but he's gonna get some movement speed, dude. Athaman should probably be scared. That was just Patron just get obliterated before he was able to really get any damage up and running. Gonna be execution sentence up and running onto Randall. But he's got some damage, man. This man is super quick. Look at this guy. Oh my god, he's not on Gentleman, he's also a Scholar. Look at that monocle, man. He's got himself a shank. He's got himself a shank. He's like a homeless gnome. Homeless Santa gnome. Oh my god. Oh, dude. Wings up and running for Atha, trying to make the damage happen here. Gonna be a bit of a polymorph coming out onto that adaptation. Reynolds trying to see if he can just run around away from Athaman's cooldowns. And it's gonna be Hand of Freedom up and running. Not gonna be able to dispel that Hand of Freedom. Athaman talented in for that. But Randall is able to get quite a bit of distance and quite a bit of damage onto Atha, trying to close the gap without Horse. Get himself a second set of wings going. Randall is taking quite a bit of damage. Get himself a temporal up and running. He still could be in a bad situation. Trying to arcane missiles down to Athaman. It's going to be Ice Block for the Mage. Not in a good position at all, though. Is going to be able to blink away from Atha, get himself a shield up and running, Crucible to follow. Hopefully, Randall has a Crucible himself. Maybe he's playing Blood of the Enemy. Maybe that's why he's got so much damage with the Patron. So much damage in the opener. Hand of Freedom up and running for Atha. Does take it out of the Hodge. That's going to be his one trinket out of the Hodge for a little bit of time. Athaman is going to be able to be slowed. Going to be, oh, no Hand of Freedom for this one. Going to be out in the open, taking so much blasted damage from Randall. Might be no bubble yet. He does have himself a shield of vengeance up and running a little bit. Randall does get himself wings or shield, but the next set of wings, next set of Hodge could put him in a terrible spot. Does get himself a short invis. Athaman, though, getting interrupted on it. Still could go for a Hammer of Justice right now. Randall is super low on health. Hammer of Justice could be up right now. Does blink away from him for a second. Hand of Freedom to get him close the gap. Is going to blink away. Athaman does bubble it while he's super low on health. Hammer going to throw in at Randall. Does try to mount up. There's going to be, oh, execution sentence. Not even necessary. Just Tempest verdict the guy. Just ran by him and just bopped him on the side of the head. Randall played himself a hell of a game, but Randall the Dreamer, the Arcane Dream stays strong with you, my friend. The Arcane Dream stays strong with you. Next up is going to be Kenny versus Athaman Fire Mage versus Paladin. He just bubbled right now, so he's really in the worst position possible to duel a Fire Mage. But at least Kenny is giving him the opportunity to at least give an honor duel. They're going to start with a polymorph, maybe? No, Athaman does get a slow. It's going to be a route to follow. Oh, wait, what? Execute status from a distance. Polymorph to follow? Athaman adaptation out of it. I think Kenny was trying to figure out, should I poly, should I not? Athaman actually just tried to hit him with a rebuke. Does not happen. Going to be polymorph half. So Kenny's going to have just to play it around a little bit until the next poly into Greater Pyro, into everything onto Atham. Atham might need to play the long game here. Might actually have to find a way to close in the gap with Kenny, lock him down, bust wings to force a trinket out of Kenny. Now I might just have to do it. That's going to be Kenny. Human racialing out of it. So for Atham, this is quite huge. If he can find a Hand of Freedom out of it just to bail out of it, he might be in a good spot. Polymorph's trying to come out. He was trying to figure out whether he wants to go behind the pillar or attack Kenny. Decided, I'm attack Kenny, but at the very last second, the Ring of Frost to follow. Atham does not get hit by the Ring of Frost. Got himself a little bit of a self-heal. Greater Power Blast is still going to come out with a meteor to follow. Atheman is going to try to see if he can walk at the Ring of Frost as the meteor comes down, so he does break him. Atheman's still looking quite healthy right now. Either way, out of all that integration, that was double Greater Pyro into the man. Or no, single Greater Pyro, or double Greater Pyros actually. Double Greater Pyro with a meteor and everything, and he survived it. If Atheman can survive that much longer for 4 minutes, the bubble is going to be a definite victory for him. If he has the cooldowns here, stun into Canny with some burst might do it justice. Does get a stun into Canny. Maybe Wings could be a perfect opportunity to get Canny to force some cooldowns out. Is going to get Wings a little bit late though. Trying to get as much damage as it can. Looks like Atheman might be playing like a very low, maybe low haste, high damage build going. Maybe that's why he's taking a little bit to get all his Wings and all his abilities up and running. Does get Executor Sentence onto Canny. And then hand for him to follow. Perfect opportunity to get some big damage onto Canny right now. Canny is on the ropes. Atheman has himself Shield of Vengeance up and running. Now Atheman, I think it would be best time to just play defensive. Rebuke does connect with that Polymorph. Arcane locked out. Canny does throw a Polymorph at the guy. Safety trigger forced out. If Atheman can somehow pop a Shield of Vengeance in between of that Greater Power Blast and everything, he might be in a good spot. Hodge onto Canny, forcing out an Ice Block here out of Canny any moment right now. Canny might just have to go for it. Ice Block Temporal coming out right now, just trying to get as much health as he can before having to Ice Block. Ring of Frost onto Atheman does connect. Greater Power Blast is going to come out. Does Canny have enough damage here? Shield of Vengeance is going to be out for Atha. Walked out of the meteor before Shield of Vengeance, not even needed. Got himself a massive heal. Wings are up and running. Might just have to go for a bit of a heal himself right now. Shield of Vengeance at the very last second. Oh my god, he's holding on. That's going to be under run check again. Him quite a huge heal while Wings are up and running. Atha needs to recover. Flash of lights. Canny is going to go for Crucible self-heal. Oh my god, this could be anyone's game. This is so much pressure on the both of them. Ice Block available for Canny. That's going to be heal. I have to play around the Ice Block. Atheman has huge burst. Every time he has Wings, it shreds through Canny. Canny's probably going to trigger that next Hodge. So Atheman, I think, needs to get a Hodge. See if he can force the cooldowns out of Canny. Hodge, Wings, middle long Wings or real Wings. Either way works. Needs to get both of those up and running. Trying to see if he can hit him with a Rebuke. Try not to use his Rebuke too early. Maybe Hand of Freedom does Hodge, maybe? They're really playing the cat and mouse game with their abilities right now. Hand of Freedom coming out for Atha. But it looks like Canny hit him with a Crucible either way. That's going to be Hodge. Canny forced out that Ice Block. Atheman, if he can get himself another bit of... If you just wait a minute. Atheman, if you just wait yourself a minute. No Hand of Freedom for you for a little bit, isn't it? Execute Sentence immediately onto Canny. Out of the breath. Cannot really catch up. Fireball coming out. Canny could have big combustion right here, right now. Polymer coming out. Atheman is just going to pop in Wings, man. Trying to do as much damage as he can. Canny got himself a good setup. Atheman fully healed up right now. No Wings for a little bit, though. Does he have himself Hand of Freedom to walk out? He actually just rushing at Canny. Big old Greater Pyro Blast chasing after him, man. Canny barely has any health right now. Temporal is all he's got. Any instant guess he can get himself going is going to give him a little bit of health. Atheman does not have Hodge for a little bit. Adaptation coming back very, very soon, however. Canny is not, as long as Canny does not get any heals, Atheman might have him on the ropes, and Canny is going to go for a mount up. But he's not going to be able to run away from Justice, dude. The Pursuit of Justice for Atheman, the faster mount speed by Paladin, is just too big. It's just too big not to be doing it. He's going to have to. Hodge coming out. Atheman does not have enough damage. He does not have enough Hand of Freedom. Does not have Wings either to really get big damage into Canny. Adaptation is going to break him out of Poly immediately, though, so that's something he can do. Got himself a slow into Canny. Bubbles back up for Atheman. He actually had himself the biggest defensive needed. Got himself a little bit of a horse up. That's going to be Wings trying to get a Rebuke onto Polymer. If he does land the Rebuke, same trick coming out for Canny. It's been that long of a duel. Trying to get those Champus Verdicts to really just break through the tough exterior that is Canny. The paper exterior that is him. He actually interrupts his own Polymer with a breath. And Atha still got Wings slow into Canny. Misses the Nova. And I think that might be closing for the count. Bears until the last bit of shield and down he goes. Atha does survive the Fire Mage onslaught. He does get to live another day. Dance Lows opening up with the Shadow Blades immediately. Atha Bop and Bubble back up. Adaptations back up. He actually played that game long enough to now where he's actually fully ready for the next guy. Minus the Wings, he's fully ready for the next person. Might be Bubble or Bop out of here a little bit early for Dancer. He might be able to force that out pretty early. Shield of Vengeance does a pop on him. He does pop on the Rogue. He gets himself to half health by popping that. Shield of going to be Bubble coming out for Atha. That Shield of Vengeance actually dropped Dancer Lows to quite a low amount of health. Atheman just wanted to get him low, get him at least out of combat. Finish out onto Atha. He's not going to have Blessing of Protection for a little bit. Dancer Lows, though. Does he have a trinket? He does. Blind, as Dancer does, get a full reset. Did not get the most damage into Atha here. But he's definitely hoping to maybe get Blessing of Protection in the next go. The fact that he has a trinket is actually just having so much advantage here. Atheman does not want to cast Flash of Light because he could just get interrupted on it. And that could be terrible. unless he just has enough health. If he has enough health, even if Dancer Lows interrupts him, there's no way. Trying to get himself a bit of a heal, trying to go for a bit of Crusader. Bob coming out for Atheman right now. This get a full setup on the Dancer. Execution Sentence is up and running. He has himself a good setup. He could go for Wings Hodge. Hodge coming down. Does Wings come in? Gonna be tricky for Dancer before Athe even went for Wings. So if he can just wait out for the next Hodge, he'll have a direct guarantee kill on Dancer Lows if he can just survive the next setup. Gonna be Blessing of Protection not available, Bubble not available, Chill Event is coming up in 49 seconds, and Adaptation up very, very soon. Nathaman tried to see if he can maybe juke out, pick up the ice. Sap comes out, actually. He didn't pick up the ice. He did pick up the ice. Now you can see him in the cell. Kidney shot coming out to Atha. Dancer trying to get as much burst damage, but the plate armor is making it difficult for him to do anything. Does throw a judgment at Dancer Lows. As Dancer get back in there to get the damage back in onto Atha. He has him on the ropes. Atha is going to go for a full recovery. A flash of lights back to back, trying to come back with a setup. Could go for another set of eyes, though. Fortune and Jiro just kind of cooking up everybody. They're just... What are you guys doing? Everybody's meat over there. What are you guys doing? They're smuggling some meat. They're smuggling some no meat into Stormwind or something. They're just working on the side business. It's a side gig. Don't worry about it. Where did Randall go? Oh no, don't worry about it. Randall's fine. He's just taking a nap. Don't worry about it. They're gonna smuggling that out of Stormwind into Argument, dude. You know, some trolls that find no meat a delicacy. Cloak of Shadows and Evasion up for running for Dancer Lows. No chicken available for a little bit. Could go for a full setup stun onto Atho. Going for cheap shots instead of getting a shot in order to not proc the adaptation, getting quite considerable amount of damage into Atho. Vanish coming out as Atho gets himself wings. Is that real wings though, or is that Minalong wings? That is the question right now. If that's real wings, that's actually quite huge. I think that's real wings. Just sitting there for a little bit too long. Atho, pop Wings a little bit early. Probably should go for a Hodge, then Wings. Gonna get interrupted by the Rogue, trying to maintain the resource generation. Getting a shot onto Atho, no adaptation for it. Has himself Shield of Vengeance. He might have to use it here. Markfreth coming out by Dancer. Does get a cheap shot onto Atho with the Crucible to follow. If Atho can somehow get next to the Rogue, gets him onto a slow, Shield of Vengeance should pop on the guy. Does get quite a good amount of damage in there. Atho, if you can get himself a Hodge and a minute. Oh, Bubble. No, Bop. No, nothing to deal with this blind right now. That's gonna be a perfect reset for Dancer Lows. Atho is running on ropes here, man. He's running out of rope. There's only a little bit holding him on right now, but he's really out of all defensives. And Dancer got himself Shadow Blades. This is going to be a massive amount of magical damage. Just goes through him like butter. Athaman does get himself a Crucible in between to get himself a heal, but nothing you can do against Shadow Blades damage. Oleg trying to get himself capitalization on damage onto Dancer in the opener. As soon as he takes down the Paladin, he's trying not to give Dancer an opportunity to recover. Songbomb coming down, trying to deny the succubus CC this time. Still, Dancer just cannot get any pressure onto Oleg at all. It's going to be Fear with a Cannibal to follow. And Oleg and Dancer look at the line of sight behind the pillar. It's going to be a bit of conflag to follow. Does get a with the Crucible. Blind into Oleg. Does he trinket this? Or does he not? Maybe he doesn't, because the pet is on the guy. Pet is on Dancer. He has got some dots rolling. He might be able to catch up and use a trinket for a little bit later. Fear trying to come out. Does get interrupted. Cannibal in the face for free. Cheap shot to follow for Dancer. As he's trying to do some damage, it's going to be succubus CC from here on. I don't think Dancer even stood a chance there. With an Immolate to follow. Horror effect right after. Another conflag to follow. Doesn't even stand a chance. Yo, Dancer, I like the fact that you tried to play out the game. You got it down to 69 dampening. Nice, by the way. Did not work out for you, my man. I'm sorry. FaZe is going to be up next. What is that? Is that an axe? That's like a pike. It is a pike. Look at it. He used it like a pitchfork. That's so cool. What the hell? And it's going to try to go for a little bit of that pet play style versus Oleg. Got his pet already empowered. Oleg got a couple of those necrotics. Maledic rolling on the guy. I think he just might be dead to that pet back there with a dot rolling on him. Oleg not really looking all that good right now. Had such an advantage over the Rogue, but now that FaZe is here. He's going to try to go for a bit of a port. Is that going to be Yoink back? Yo-yo him back in there. Oleg trying to see if he can recover. 73% dampening though. That Crucible is not going to give you any healing, bud. And FaZe. He's just not going to get phased by the competition, man. He's taking a bit of damage from the Warlock, but he's just rolling out really a lot through that AMS. That AMS being so small, by the way. He just burned through AMS so quickly. Holy crap. Alright, FaZe versus Fortin now, huh? DK versus Monk. Mobility versus immobility. Massive healing, but both of them are not going to get any healing. Lichborn coming out for FaZe right now. Unfortunately, is going to bail out of there immediately. Dampen is so high up, he better save his health as best as possible. FaZe, Lichborn is going to be down for a second. Lichborn Not going to have it for a bit. And actually going to be able to juke away from the pet. The massive pet that should be most of FaZe's damage right now. Getting hit with a disarm all by the monk. As FaZe is still trying to kite the guy. Does get to connect with him in the pet. But the Fist of Fury is coming out with the parries. Getting the Army of the Dead rolling onto Fortin. But the army is going to fade. That's going to be Rinax next, trying to rinse through Fortin with a kidney shot in the opener. That's quite a bit of damage to Fortin. Get himself a little bit of a dispel from a poison just to get the Vivifies rolling back to back. The bleeds are still on him. The Ring of Peace is going to get Rinax out of combat with a bit of touch of death. If he can somehow find a way to get him through, Cloak of Shadows Vanish coming out. Rinax actually went through a lot of defenses. I don't know if you really need to cloak that. I mean, I guess you can't really cloak through anything else Fortin has, unless he has a Mali. But, you know, there it is. It's going to pick up the eye. His extra health is going to be down for the count for a bit. Does he still use the battle trinket to increase his health with the wall? I think he still might be. He's going to be disarmed onto the Rogue Fist of Fury to follow as Crucibles are punishing Fortin, though. Actually, I had to pop in, defuse magic just to deal with the damage over time the Crucibles put up on the guy. Man, that is rough. Rinax actually might have him on the ropes. Fortin not gonna have a actually should have a trinket by now. 30 seconds have passed since normal human trinket. They might be just fine. Into a bit of a kidney shot onto Fortin. He does go for a leg sweep. Fist of Fury locking down Rinax. If Rinax had himself a mark for the kidney shot, he might. Oh! Never mind. And that was it. So Admin came back, blasted through his mage's men, healing as much as he could. And then everything else fell in down like chips on a table. Anyway, boys, that was a good duel right there. Do we do another one or do we call it here? I think we do one more. I think we do one good one. One more good one.